Heyo guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I am here by this, joined here by this very amazing person, Catmanjoe.
Hello, my name is Joe. I'm actually not a furry, but people get it confused all the time, but it's no worries, but hello.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going to be doing interview with Catmanjoe part 2. So this is fun.
On my world this time.
On your... He said a no-no word. Do you have any information about 1.16.1 that was back when that was about to come out? 1.16.3 then.
1.16.3 is in what, beta?
Yeah.
Well, I don't get any new news before anybody else regarding betas and whatnot, you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it, like all my news about beta or any new information regarding that, I normally get given it probably like somewhat like quick, like pretty much before many people, but like not too before. Like when everybody kind of just starts to hear about it, I've already heard about it maybe about 20 or 30 minutes beforehand. So like any kind of new beta news or anything like that, I normally don't have like an inside scoop before the scenes. Sometimes if I'm very lucky, like one of my buddies, Beta Bedrock, he's a Twitter like news cover for Minecraft. He sometimes gets news beforehand, but that's just a little bit. It's nothing ever really major. It's just maybe saying that it's gonna be a new hotfix or new update tomorrow or the next day. Which I mentioned in a few videos mine just a couple of days ago or about a couple of weeks ago, which was like the same idea. So yeah, but a good question, I agree with that.
Question 2. Do you know when we can download mods on PS4? Like a Rust estimate?
Never. When it comes down to it, the PlayStation 4 will never be able to adequately get mods for Minecraft. It's not exactly an accessible feature, although it is wanted by undoubtedly a lot of players in the community, and I'm sure a lot of people will be wanting to pay for them. It's just not really an option. However, there is kind of a bit of a clause in there, and it's kind of almost ironic as well, because if players want mods on PS4, we can to some degree get them, but without a PS4. So you're asking, well, how do you do that then? Well, in return to being able to get them without a PS4, what you would technically speaking have to do is have to have maybe a realm or some sort. A realm is the only real way, but having a realm or a world that's on crossplay and you can invite a friend who's on maybe PC or on a mobile device, they can buy rights from there. They can bring on mods because obviously they're on a PC or on a broken version of Minecraft Pocket Edition that allows them to import mods and use them. It's really the only actual accessible way of doing it. I've done it once before on the Xbox, but if it's possible on the Xbox One, it most likely is possible on the PS4. But again, only with realms or with certain kind of circumstances. Currently we don't really have. So yeah, sadly, probably not for the PS4.
Okay. What are you planning on doing for your 40k special?
As soon as you said for something else there, but 40k, for my 40k special for subs, probably nothing really extravagant. I don't really do any like sort of specials every 10k, but for me, for 40k, I'd probably say something like maybe I'd say 16-hour or 12-hour stream, something big like that, but nothing too crazy. But yeah, that's probably about it. For 50k, I plan on doing a house tour, and for 100k, probably another Q&A, which I've done one Q&A for 10k, but technically it's 15. And I've done a setup tour for 20k. So I've kind of done a few different milestone kind of specials, but nothing really of any crazy, significance. So for 40k, I'll probably stay in that same kind of realm as well.
Right, question 4. Would you ever have a meet and greet with your fans or anything when you hit 50k or more? Like as you were speaking about in a previous live stream, CatCon or something like that.
CatCon. I think I was like the convention idea more for memes. I'd be more than willing to meet people. I'm not an antisocial guy. Like some YouTubers portray this, they have this kind of weird thing that they portray online where it's, they have like online they can be charismatic and very confident and very out there and, outgoing and whatnot and very, polite and all that kind of jazz or whatever it is. They can be very sociable, but then when it comes to in person, there's a lot of YouTubers who personally, from what I've heard about from personal experience and whatnot, they are quite self-secluded. They don't really like to be around other people, and that's why they got so well into YouTube, because they can work within their own confined space and their own kind of bubble. For me personally though, I'm quite forthcoming. Like I'm quite outgoing and I'm welcoming. Like I'd be welcome to meet people and chill with people and hang with people. I mean, from my streams and whatnot, I'm not an egotistic guy. Like jokes aside, I make kind of jokes for myself regarding me having an ego the size of my forehead and stuff like that. But jokes aside, I really am not. Like when it comes down to it, like I am quite chill with people. And I'll be more than welcoming to, have meet and greets or whatever, stuff like that, if that ever did become a thing in the distant future, of course. But yeah.
Right. Question 5. Is Minecraft getting discontinued in December?
That's a good question. No, it isn't. It isn't. I'm guessing you're referring to the news that I either covered, or you're referring to the news that was heard a couple months back regarding Minecraft.
Yeah.
All versions of Minecraft being discontinued in December 2020, and that will be the end of Minecraft. That was all fake. I covered it in a video of mine a while back and whatnot, where it was rather kind of clickbaity because it was like kind of leading on the idea that it was going to end, and a lot of people did believe in that kind of speculation, but it isn't. You've got to understand, undoubtedly for Mojang and whatnot, they don't want to shut up shop anytime soon. There's so many more things they can do with Minecraft, but additionally as well, they've already confirmed Minecraft's one of those games, it doesn't have a 10-year plan or whatnot. It will continue until the day it doesn't. You know what I mean? There's no end for Minecraft. There's unlimited possibilities and potentials of what they can do with the game.
So this is a bit more of a weirder question. What is your favourite kind of drink?
Would this be drink as in any sort of beverage, alcoholic, or would this be drink as in like fizzy juice or anything? I'd probably say, like, I'm kind of a plain guy. I'd probably say, honestly, when it comes down to it and whatnot, I'd probably say milk, to be honest. Milk would probably be my favourite. I know, I'm a sucker for milk, I'm saying milk with cookies, milk with tea, whatever. Milk by itself, I'm saying, man, like, milk is just life, I'm saying. I like water as well, but milk is just going to be my go-to. That or probably like orange juice or something like that.
Question 6. What inspired you to do YouTube?
What inspired me to do YouTube, as in like content creator, or do you mean just in general? Or...
In general.
I think it was just a passion. Everybody kind of has like something that they pull towards, whether it's music or, general like, instruments or, I'd say like, just general learning or whatever. Everybody has something that like, pulls them towards it, football, whatever. Everybody has something. I'd say, whether they notice it or not, they will eventually find it, normally when they're quite younger and whatnot, but sometimes when they're older as well. But everybody has some sort of passion. Regardless of what it is, I don't know, but at the end of the day, I feel like everybody has something. For me, at a very young age, I grew up as I've got no siblings. I've got no siblings whatsoever. So I grew up with a very crazy imagination. I had lots of toys. I used to play around. I used to do voices by myself. Judge me all you wish, but that's just how I was. I was rather incredibly creative, to be honest, when I was quite younger, or when I was younger. But for me, I always had a certain thing. I loved to make people laugh. From a young age, I always loved making people laugh, and it's something that just I enjoy doing. There's nothing better to me than making people laugh. It's something that you can't just buy it. You know what I mean? It's something that you can't just get either. It's you've got to either have a talent for it or something. And I enjoyed making people laugh. It was nice. Someone could be incredibly sad, and when they're laughing, it can just change that emotion completely, take a 180. So for me, it was my passion for YouTube kind of strived from that. I wanted to be an entertainer, not so much a YouTuber. YouTuber was kind of like like being a YouTuber right now. I enjoy doing YouTube videos, but this is never going to be my sole stop off point. Although I love making videos and being a content creator, it doesn't really suffice what I want to do fully. I want to entertain people and make people happy in more than one different way, not in any sort of weird way. But at the end of the day, I think for me, my passion kind of derived from just, creativity, and so much excess amounts. I enjoyed recording videos and doing voices and stuff like that, and eventually I heard, about YouTube and whatnot. I watched a couple of videos on it, but it wasn't until I had my first ever phone, a BlackBerry, I believe it was 300, a really old school phone, really old school. But for me, when I got that, I originally kind of got really introduced to YouTube, and that was kind of more like the time I was just getting into, play Minecraft in the console edition. And I started looking at Minecraft tutorials and like how to build stuff and whatnot, because I was still getting used to YouTube. I kind of thought it was all just about music, but obviously it wasn't. And I loved it. Yeah, there was a YouTuber by the name of Modest517. He done build tutorials, and I just loved his commentary. I loved the idea of it. It was just, I don't know what it was truly. I don't know if it was a commentary. I don't know if it was the idea of fame or whatever it would have been, but I just loved the idea and the concept of having people out there that enjoyed listening to you. People that were not, they didn't know you personally, you didn't go to school with them, you didn't meet them through family, through other sort of sources. You didn't know them personally, but they knew you, and they liked you, and that was something always kind of, appealed to me on a much more basic level.
In 3 words, describe yourself.
Say, if I was to, let's say, disappear tomorrow, or God forbid die, right? I want people to know me for being funny, most of all, of course. I feel like that's quite automatic. He was funny. He was interesting, and he was, I'd say, probably my third being, I don't know, inspirational. I think that would be it. I like to feel like I leave something behind. That's kind of like the idea. Everybody fears the unknown, you know what I mean? It's like when you pass on, let's say, for instance, you would like to think that there's something of you being left behind, some part of history. So for me, it's like, I like the idea of inspiring people, because it's, if I was to disappear, God forbid it, if I inspire so many people, I'm sure there's maybe someone out there who will go very far with that inspiration, and hopefully my name will continue to be carried out, you know, even if I'm not there. And that's something that I think is more valuable than more valuable than a lot of things.
Right, question 9. If you had the opportunity, would you and who would you meet who is a celebrity other than yourself?
A celebrity. I'm not, why would you want to meet yourself as well? Like, that'd be such a counter. Like, how would you even do that?
Well, I mean, there's people who are antisocial. Okay.
Yeah. Celebrity-wise, who would I want to meet? I'm trying to think, who would I really want to meet? Like, on a dead mad, like on like a mad level, like crazy celebrity-wise and whatnot. I'd probably want to meet. I'm trying to think, man. That's a really good question. I feel like someone like Seth MacFarlane. You know, like create a family guy and whatnot. I really like Seth MacFarlane. He's like him like that. I know. I like him in general. That would be like one person I like to meet in general. Like I personally would like to meet Seth MacFarlane because I know, man, Family Guy was a big part of my childhood. Getting to meet the creator of Family Guy and the voice like Stewie and Peter and whatnot, and Quagmire and whatnot, or Quagmire.
Hello.
Be interesting. Yeah, it'd be pretty sick, to be honest.
Okay, question 10. I read this like a few hours ago, believe it or not, because I just thought of it.
Okay.
What was it like being a young YouTuber growing up?
Well, when I started YouTube again, I was like 10, 11 years old, so I was quite young, but it was like I wasn't really per se a part of the community, you know what I mean? Because it wasn't like I had connections or I was speaking or collaborating with other YouTubers. My bubble was incredibly small, if not, you know, nothing, you know? But being a young YouTuber in general, just doing YouTube and whatnot, I think, I don't know, man, for me, it was just, I don't know, I think it was peaceful, I guess, to some degree. It wasn't like YouTube was some crazy place or whatnot. Like, YouTube now has changed to a degree where you can't say and, you know, speak honestly and openly on things, or else you're going to get, you know, I guess, ruled out or cancelled or, demonetized or taken down or whatever. Like, all that kind of jazz exists now. But when I was getting into YouTube, it was more, you could say and do whatever you really wanted to obviously a moderate degree, of course. I know that's kind of what it was. For me, when I was younger, it was just more, it was nice, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be yourself, you know? With YouTube, I've said this to a lot of people and all, because it's not you should be ashamed of who you are, what you do and whatnot, but it's a factor that to make it easier on yourself, especially if you're younger, you should always strive and stay away from sharing your channel and things that you do like this, or something that you really truly and utterly love and that you enjoy and have passion in. Most likely the closest people to you are going to try and tear down. That's how it works, that's how it is. It sounds cruel and all, but that's genuinely true. The people that are the closest, the people that are in your circle, the people that are in your vicinity, they will be the first ones to try and tear that down and take that away from you. Which is why, in my opinion, genuinely, you should always, to a degree, keep it to yourself. You know, when it comes to if you're a YouTuber or whatnot, whatever it may be, don't tell your friends about it. Although it might be somewhat, you know, like, oh, I want to do that though, it's nice. To some degree, if you follow up that friend, they might tell everybody else, you might get embarrassed and put off doing YouTube, or you might have to change the way you act, you know? And that's a horrible feeling. It's horrible when you can't be yourself because you feel that there's someone watching who knows who you really are, or knows who you want to, or who you try to be. I know, that's why, I know, for me, YouTube was nice because it was, you know, not many people in my real life knew about it, but until later on, of course, but it was chill, you know?
Prepare for a very long conversation.
Good questions.
Yeah.
Good questions indeed.
You said that last video, but yeah.
I did. Good questions there.
At the end of the video, I specifically remember just good questions.
That's all I can say. How about I ask you something real quick before the end, right? How about this?
You also done this last time, okay?
Yeah, I did, because it's nice to ask the person who's interviewing you some questions, I feel. Okay. What is so important for you for YouTube? Like, what do you want to do on YouTube? What is your goal? Like, where do you want to be? What do you see yourself doing?
Well, so I want to entertain people, which is an obvious one that most people do, or choose for that question. But when I realised that you can make money off of doing something that you enjoy and you don't have to work a 9 to 5 that's boring and you're just getting slaved away in an office, like, and you could actually have fun with doing your job, basically, and also entertain other people. I thought that was a really fun concept, and that's what made me... I've totally forgotten what the question was.
That's what made you want to start it, because that's what I'm saying, like, what is it, like, that's what makes you get into it. I think there's a distinct difference, right? If you look at YouTube as a job, you look at it as something that earns you money, but then that means you're looking at, regardless of what it is, as a job, YouTube, to not cut any rubbish out of the way, YouTube is hard. You are self-employed, you're your own businessman, there's nobody telling you when to work or when not to work, so it's incredibly easy to procrastinate. That's the most dangerous part about YouTube, that really is. The truth is, you can overwork and get burnt out, and that is a horrible feeling because then you don't know what to do. Or what can happen additionally on top of all that to make things even more worse for yourself is that you can become lazy. YouTubers often can find themselves in a very vicious cycle where they are not wanting to make content, not because they can't make content, but because they feel they don't need to. You know, the one good thing about being at a job or working a 9 to 5 or whatnot is that, or the one easy thing to some degree about it is that you know what you need to do, you know when you need to do it, you know when you need to start and when you need to finish. And you get paid regardless of how well you do it or whatnot at the end of the week. Obviously, of course, you need to do it well, but you know what I mean? You get paid if you do it. On YouTube, that's very different. YouTube, you're your own boss. You've got to, you know, and you've got to have a lot of self-discipline. To be a YouTuber, that's the thing, you know, a lot of YouTubers can succeed if they really want to, but it's all about self-discipline. Like, can you tell yourself every single day, I've got to wake up, I've got to go and record a video, even if I don't have any ideas, I've got to wake up and start working on a video right away. Can you do that? That's the question. And it's a lot of people say, well, I can, and then when they start doing it, they see how hard it is, and they go, I'll just take a week off, and then it'll be 2 weeks, and it'll be 3, and then they quit YouTube. And it's not because they couldn't do it, it's because they didn't have the motivation or the self-discipline to control themselves and make themselves do it, you know? If you're constantly in the mindset every single day that I need to get something done, you will find a way to do it. By, you know, humans by nature, we're amazing at problem solving. And when it comes down to it, thinking of new video ideas or content ideas, the only way to solve that problem or get past that kind of issue is by simply keeping yourself in that situation long enough until you find the issue or you find the solution. It's not very hard. But again, it's just about self-discipline, and that's the thing with YouTube. It's not easy, it's not guaranteed. There's no guarantees in this, you know. There's nothing that tells you that in a year's time you'll have $1 million and a Ferrari and whatever. It might take you 10, but it's about knowing and having the, you know, the confidence in yourself, knowing that if I work hard enough and I work harder than the competition, I will get further than the competition and I'll get what I want. So yeah, always like a one-to-one.
I'm just saying out of the blue to the people who are watching this video, Joe is live streaming right now, so it's kind of awkward doing the interview whilst knowing there's like
other people listening.
Yeah. 20 odd people watching.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. So right now my time is very limited, and Dragon's been trying to arrange this for the past, I'd say, week or two, probably about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I say this to a lot of people know, but my time is incredibly limited, and in all fairness, Dragon, he's the first person I've done 2 collabs with in a row. So that's pretty crazy. But yeah, so Dragon's been trying to arrange this and we got this all set up, but obviously one of the requirements is we're having to do it on stream, and it's currently as well 2:55 in the morning. So credit to Dragon where it's due, give him some sympathy. The guy is, you know, obviously up way later than he normally is, and he has high school tomorrow, so GG to him.
In like 4 hours as well, I have to get up.
Painful times. You gotta get used to it.
And then even at that, after school I have to cut the grass as well, because I had to donate to you.
Get a game.
I mean, it's worth it, but...
Hell yeah. But yeah, man, thanks for having me on the interview. Always appreciate it. Is that all the questions?
Yeah, that's all the questions.
So yeah, well, GG, man. Well, good interview, again.
Yeah. Should I end the recording now?
You should, yeah. Kind of leave me with that awkward silence. You're the one recording. You gotta get more confident with that.
Yeah. Right, guys. So I think that's gonna be it for today's, I was about to say live stream video. If you did enjoy, please make sure you drop a sub, drop a like. I appreciate it a lot. We, at the moment of recording this, well, at the moment of recording this, are on the road to 3K subs. So, drop a sub.
Relax. Take
Help.
a breath. You're good. You're safe. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to get harmed. You seem very tense right now. I can hear it in your voice.
Help.
I'm sure the viewers
Please. I'm being forced.
Get him. Go ahead.
Right. But yeah, if you did enjoy this video, please drop a sub, drop a like. I appreciate it a lot. We're on the road to 3K. Share with your friends if you want them to enjoy this amazing video, collab, whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.